What's up everyone, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. I've had the HTC One for a few days and I wanted to share my first impressions, how the phone feels, how the phone works, and help you decide whether or not you should pick one up, pre-order it, and figure out if it's the next phone for you. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have had the HTC One for a few days and I wanted to share my impressions. It's not enough time to give it a full review. That will be coming later, but I do want to share what I think about it and what I've learned about the phone during my time. So first, let me refresh the specs for you. What you're looking at here is an absolutely gorgeous 4.7-inch diagonal screen with a resolution of 1920 by 1080. That means it is a 1080p screen with the highest PPI I have ever seen of 469. This screen is absolutely ridiculous. We'll definitely talk about that. Shipping with Android 4.1.2 at launch, 1.7 GHz quad-core Snapdragon, 2 gigs of RAM, 32 or 64 gigs of storage, no external. A lot of hoopla being made about that guy right there. That is an ultra-pixel camera. It's got an HD video-capable front-facing camera, 802.11 ABG and N. For the first time, I get to say AC as well. 2300 mAh battery, NFC, and coming in at 5.04 ounces or 143 grams. Alright, so let's start with the first impression. When I first took this device out of the box, held it, this was the best first impression I have ever had of a phone since the iPhone 4, and that's held true over my few days with it. The way this phone feels in the hand is absolutely incredible, and it's not something that I've said about every other phone that I've tested. This phone really stands out. The way it feels, the way it looks, it screams premium quality. HTC has learned a lot over the years about how to build phones, and this is the culmination of those years of efforts. This is one of the best looking phones I have ever tested, and I've tested pretty much every phone over the past 4 years. There are a few oddities here as well. The first one that sticks out for me is the button placement. So you've got a back button and a home button positioned sort of oddly on the right. And as much as you want that HTC logo to be a button, it is never going to be. So you're missing the multitasking button. If you want to multitask, you double tap the home button and you get HTC Sense 5's new multitasking UI, and you can go ahead and open applications by clicking it, or you can swipe them off the screen. We'll talk about Sense 5 though in just a minute. Continuing the button quirks, the power button, which is also an IR blaster and put it to sleep, is on the left-hand side. I've never seen that before. It's definitely taking some getting used to. Boom sound, which is sort of the culmination of this speaker's here, and it's not just a speaker, it's a software and technology that goes into it, is really loud. This is the best speaker I have ever heard on a phone. HTC previously had the title HTC Surround, an older phone, was one of the best. This phone blows it away. If you rely on speakerphone or you want to play some music for some friends, this is a great speaker. I'll give you guys a demonstration. It's certainly not going to do much justice coming through YouTube, but suffice to say, the sound quality is really good for a speakerphone. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about Sense 5. I haven't been the biggest fan of HTC Sense in previous generations. Sense 5 gets out of the way, and I really like that. Things from that little widget to the top, to how you control the app drawer here. I really like what they did. So I did a whole video going through Sense 5 and demonstrating what it can do, and I'll leave that link down below if you want to watch it. But if you had issues with Sense 4, previous version, you didn't like the way they worked, don't worry about Sense 5. It really does a nice job getting out of its own way and brings a lot of great features with it, including a pretty awesome email client. So if you've been wondering about getting an email client, one that works for you, the one that's bundled with HTC One is pretty awesome. A lot of hoopla is being made about this guy right here. This is Blinkfeed. Think of it as a flipboard for your home screen. You can pick from a ton of different options and they will show up right on the home screen. It works well. I found it to be a bit of a battery drain. I'll show you what it looks like. We'll go ahead and select Associated Press. You can also select your Facebook or Twitter streams here as well if you want. Me, I pushed the home screen all the way over to the left. I have not found a way yet to get rid of it if you don't want it. But I just sort of relegated over to the side. So you can see what it looks like right there. It pulls the information. It'll do the same things with Twitter or Facebook. It's kind of neat, and if you go ahead and open it up, it's not going to open a straight website or bring up sort of a mini browser that you can use to view the content. I really like that touch. So we'll go ahead and go home. When it comes to the camera, we've got a full camera post detailing how this performs next to a ton of other phones you might be interested in. So I'm going to direct you to that. But if you want to judge for yourself and take a look at some of the sample images, you can take a look at that link, which will also be down below as soon as that post goes live. So let's talk a little bit about performance. This thing is blistering fast. This is one of the most complete phones I've ever tested. This is the way Android, I think, was meant to be outside of a Nexus device. It is extremely quick. Everything opens up fast. The boot up time is less than 7 seconds. HTC's got a quick boot technology in here. It's absolutely incredible to see. I mean, I've never seen a phone boot up from cold in 7 seconds. The screen here is absolutely gorgeous as well, and that's really the big story. I'll go ahead and open up a gallery. You can see what that looks like. It seems a little bit even better than what we saw on the Droid DNA. It might be due to the smaller screen size and the higher PPI. But the screen is absolutely gorgeous. A stunning screen. I've never seen anything look this good on a phone. If I sound in love with the device, it's because so far I am. And as I mentioned, I really haven't had that positive impression of a phone, at least initially, as I have with this since the iPhone 4. So if you want to get a phone and you're looking for something that's going to suit you very well, you're going to owe it yourself to look at the HTC One. It's still too early for me to do a full battery test, but I will say it seems about on par with the Droid DNA, at least thus far. And as I continue to test the device for a full review, I'll make sure to go over battery life and performance. I wanted to share with you guys just my first impressions of the phone. If there's anything that you want to see be covered in the review, be sure to let us know. But again, we'll continue to test the camera. We'll continue to test everything about it. We'll sure to share all that with you in our full review. Thank you guys for watching. Give us a thumbs up. We certainly appreciate it. Check us out at technobuffalo.com for the latest and greatest tech news. I'm John Rettinger. I'll see you next video.